don't have much data on the 70s, but certainly since the 80s. Oh, sorry, Nathan again. How did coaches and selectors mislabel generational batting talent like Jayasuriya and Smith and start them off as part-time spinner and lower order batter? Okay, so the most important thing here is no one in Australia thought that Steve Smith wasn't a batter. They maybe thought his batting wouldn't translate to the international level in a, first class, really good player, not right for thing. But the whole thing of him starting as a player, I mean, look at the amount of players that Australia picked. Marcus North, Cameron White, Steve Smith, Marnus Labuschagne. Am I missing another one? I feel like I'm missing another one. These guys all played as bowlers, even though some of them were in the top 6. But they all played as bowlers because Australia needed spin bowling options. Like no one in Australian cricket I had ever met had ever said that Steve Smith was a better bowler than he was a batter. Right? They got a bit excited because he took a bag of wickets, but I think he was still averaging 47 with a ball at that point. Like it wasn't. Jayasuriya is really different because he's a really late developing player. I don't know if I have his first class. I don't know if I've looked at his early first class record. But I looked at this the other day. I should get Cheyenne on the podcast. But I sent it to Cheyenne the other day. His record in the first however many ODI games is dreadful. And he bats opening, he bats first drop, he bats middle order, he bats lower order. They batted him everywhere. They thought he could play. They were desperate to get a guy in who they thought had a bit of bowling talent into that side. And they were right. Eventually, it was a big reason why they won the World Cup. But he couldn't make any runs anywhere he went. So I don't think your point on those particular people are wrong. But Azhar Ali, Mark Richardson, Ravi Shastri, probably missing a couple of others out there, are certainly players who showed, who you would have thought had the attributes that could have translated to their particular skill, but weren't being given the opportunities. Like Mark Richardson bats 10 and 11, and no one even suggests he could bat. Shastri takes a long time for him to sort of work his way up the order as well. And I forget who the other player was I said, but it does, Azhar Ali. So Azhar Ali makes a fairly early transition. But I remember, and I'm not sure, I haven't gone back and had a look at the records here, but I remember that it was always said that David Boone was picked partly for underage cricket because he could bowl. You're talking about people who really understand cricket at a young age. So Stuart Broad, Simon, is much probably a better one than anyone else you've said here. Stuart Broad was thought to be a batting all-rounder when he was 16. He bowled little, juicy, medium paces. No one really took his bowling all that seriously, although they thought it was a cool second skill for him to have. But everyone thought he was going to be a batter. He had these long, elegant strokes. Goes to Australia at 16, gets, by his own words, essentially just gets sledged and sledged and sledged until he just like, that's it, I'm going to bowl as fast as I can. That's the birth of the Stuart Broad that ends up being an international cricketer. So does that mean it was wrong for all the other people not to be able to do that? And it's, Stuart Broad's one. This is a slightly different situation, but Darren Gough was playing in a first-class game, and Richie Richardson was his captain. And he was bowling like, what England seamers do. 80 mile an hour, little swingers, whatever. And Richie Richardson's like, just bowl quick. Just bowl quick. Sometimes things like that completely open up a player, and they make them think about things very, very different. And so it's hard for you to know as a coach what that thing is and whether you will break a very talented player. How many questions are you guys putting today? So I've got like 3 guys. I've asked like 10 questions. So, Nathan, again.